All right, what a great game coming up next in the Big Ten. Michigan State, Ohio State. Ohio State 19-point home favorite, 66.5 the total. This is the first of a back-to-back gauntlet of Michigan games for Ohio State. They play Michigan State here, Michigan next week, and they're laying 19. And I got to look at this and say, wait a second here. Ohio State was laying 19-20 last week at home against Purdue. Now, I know Purdue beat Michigan State. That was Michigan State's one loss, but Michigan State's still better than Purdue, and they're laying the same price here. So to me, the value's on Michigan State. Can they hang tough? Do they have the offense to hang tough? Peyton Thorne's looking better throwing the ball. I like that he's actually throwing the ball and having more success doing it lately. A lot of the early in the year was a run-heavy offense, and we know they've got a Heisman hopeful and Kenneth Walker, who's had an outstanding year. But I like that Peyton Thorne's improving in the passing game, and I am going to stand by my belief that Ohio State's defense is still vulnerable, especially in the secondary. They can give up plays there. So I think Michigan State can move the ball, but I also expect Ohio State to move the ball at will potentially because, look, Michigan State's defense, against the best offenses they've played, they gave up 31 to Western Kentucky. They gave up 33 to Michigan, even though they won that game. And then they gave up 40 to Purdue in the loss. And Ohio State, they got the red zone issues they had against Penn State and Nebraska. They didn't have any of those issues against Purdue. They were punching in touchdowns every drive, 59-31. Stroud was on point to having Wilson back at receiver after he missed the last game to go with Olave. What a duo they are at receiver. The run game with Henderson. It just feels like a lot of points. I think Michigan State can trade points long enough in this game to hang within 19, especially when this is the same damn spread Ohio State was laying against Purdue when Michigan State's better than Purdue in my mind. So I lean to the dog. But the bet I really like, if there's no weather issues whatsoever, this game's got a chance to cruise over the total, sail over the total, 66.5. I think we're looking at 42, 31, something like that in this game. 42 at least for Ohio State. And even if you get just 28 for Michigan State, you get over that total. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair as long as there's no weather issues in Columbus on Saturday. Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, Ohio State was just scoring with ease. I mean, I don't know what Purdue. That was no defense. That was the Ole defense. If you'd have told me Purdue scored 31, I would have laughed. I would have said, yeah, they cover. But they couldn't. They just got their ass let up. Michigan State has had I think their expectations better than, what coming in. I lead them with the points, but that defense, both defenses, I think, are leaky. But Ohio State's, I think, a little bit better, obviously, and they have the better offense. That Michigan State secondary in some of these games against, even Michigan, they got ran on. The Purdue game, they gave up 40 to them. I'm worried about that this could get away. Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I haven't decided on anything yet. There could be points. I start getting 66.5. That's a lot. So I have nothing on the total as well. This might be a full stay away for me. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, there's rumblings Michigan State's hoping to get their best receiver back, Jalen Naylor. He was injured a few weeks ago, and he was their best receiver. Now, Jaden Reed, Keon Coleman, Trey Mosley, they've stepped up. They've done a good job. But if they could ever get Naylor back for this game, that's enormous now. And tough to match up for a secondary. That's the weak part of Ohio State's defense. It's the secondary. They're actually not bad up front against the run. They're good against the run, but you can throw on them. And if they've got their best receiver back, Naylor, I think Michigan State, there's plays to be made down the field in the passing game if he plays in this one. And even if he doesn't, I think they'll make enough that they can score some points in